This Dr. Summer and I am discussing with you pharmacy as a career. Yes, in the before this lecture we discuss the historical background of the pharmacy profession, how historically pharmacy profession is developed in India, globe. So now we are discussing after the graduating in the course of the pharmacy, what will be the career option you have. Okay. So in the scope of the pharmacy, so it's generally practice including the compounding and the dispensing of medications and modern medicine, modern services such as clinical services, accurately providing drug information. So this is the main scope of after the graduating in the pharmacy. So in the career option of the pharmacy, there is a number of career option is there. So total sky, we can say today the only the sky is the limit for the pharmacy graduate. Depending on the qualification, talent, and the experience, there are numerous options in the pharmacy profession. Those who have the qualified individually in a pharmacy course, so they have excellent opportunities in industries, also in the academia. They also work in the hospitals, research industries, and also the work in the government departments. So this image is explaining different careers after the graduating in the pharmacy. So let's discuss one by one. So first is the government job. In the government job, you can do drug inspector job, drug controller job, scientists in the center labs, research labs, assistant commissioners in the government bodies, and government pharmacists, right? So these are the good options in the government jobs. And regulatory bodies like AICT is the regulatory body, Pharmacy Council of India is the regulatory body to for this. So you can also work after the graduating uh, the B pharmacy in the regulatory bodies. You can open the retail and wholesale shop. So this is a very good business point of views, and this is very good option. There is a abroad option opportunities after the graduate in pharmacy. So you can go for the higher studies job practicing pharmacy in the abroad after the qualifying the country to country exam. So there is a number of country to country exam. After the qualifying, you can do that. So you can do the higher studies M Pharma. There is a big number of branches of the M Pharma. MBA for the marketing specialization, operational management, pharmaceutical management. There is a number of different options. NIPER, that is the National Institute of Pharmacy Education and Research, and clinical research. You can do the job after the in this field area. And, you can do also a community pharmacy, that is directly relation with the dealing with the pharmacists to the community for the betterment of the healthcare profession, especially the medical expert and role of discussing the things different in the hospital pharmacy. You can do the pharmacist after the graduating. You are become the pharmacist, and you can do the qualified drug exporters advice and to the everybody for regarding the dose incompatibility and side effect. You can do that. Research and development, in the research and development is also a very good option. So discovery of the new drug, new formulation, new molecules. So this is very good option after the qualifying this. Packaging technology, in the packaging department in the pharmaceutical industries. So there is a packaging technology, number of the packaging technology after qualifying the B pharmacy. There is also option is there. Drug regulatory affairs, so dealing with the laws and regulation that is important for the food and drug and cosmetic sector, and number of intellectually property rights. So you can do this in this job. After that, quality insurance and quality controls deal with maintaining and assurance of the quality of the product. Formulation and development, we pharmacy graduates play important role in formulation of the accurate dosage form. So after in the formulation development, you can also work in this area. Most of the after the graduating in the pharmacy, most of candidate, they start with the career in the production, and the maximum job opportunities and the number of vacancies in the production department. So this is also a very good area for the doing the job. Academics, after the B pharmacy graduating in the B pharmacy, you can do as a lecturer job in the D pharmacy colleges as per the ASCT and PCI norms. So let's discuss one by one the pharmacy career, what you can do after the pharmacy, what are the options will be available for you. So first is the pharmacy settings. In the pharmacy settings, So practice later to the pharmacy, and that is first we will discuss the where you can do the practice. So you can start with the hospital pharmacist. So hospital, we can start hospital pharmacist. So the hospital pharmacist undertake the responsibility of stock control, storage, placing the orders, labeling, and the financial budgeting and account keeping for the dispensary. So this is the role of hospital pharmacist. You can in the community pharmacist, this is dispensing of the prescription over the counter medicine to the public, reviewing prescription from the doctor to ensure accuracy, suitability for the patient, and also dose, ingredient, and correctly and safety label, these kind of the things that is you can practice after the community in the community pharmacist. And also in the clinical area, the responsibility are responsible and accountable for the medication therapy and patient outcome. So these are another options in this area. You can do the practice in this area. So in the industry, there is a one department to department you can do the job. So let's discuss. In the first, you can there is a production department, a big department in the companies. So pharmaceutical company is the engine behind the manufacturing and life-saving medication. So majority of the pharmacy graduates work in this particular domain. And quality control, quality assurance is also a very good domain. You can so quality to these are working in the safety, drug safety and efficacy of the quality and control, and the solutions and force standards unprintable and entire production processes. Packaging job, packaging department in the industry. After the graduating, you can more than container, crucial aspects, drug safety, patient convenience. So these all the things you can do after the in the industry. It provide so safety of the medication emerged as a major department and pharmaceutical of the pharmaceutical industries. So you can do the in the these kind of the things in the packaging department. Next, in the sale and marketing area, so in the sale and marketing, the pharmaceutical sales of manufacturing professionals, they play the role in the promote, distribute medications and healthcare providers. So ensure their accessibility and educating them on their behalf. So regulatory, next is the regulatory affairs. So expert you can in this area you can navigate the complex processes of pharmaceutical regulations to ensure that drugs meet safety and efficacy standards and with the regulatory authorities and play a vital role in the product approvals compliance and labeling accuracy. So another area is pharmacovigilance. In the pharmacovigilance, professionals monitoring and assessing the safety drug products after the post marketing and collect the data, analyze the data, report of the adverse drug events, and contributing ongoing safety evaluations of the medications and regulatory compliance. Next is in the research and development. So development of the new product, development of the new formulation. So scientists in this area, the scientists and researchers innovate by discovering and developing new drugs, and they conduct preclinical clinical studies, striving bring novel treatment for to the marketing to improve the existent ones through scientific evidences and scientific experiments. There is also another settings in pharmacy professions. So government job. In the government jobs, you can do the hospital pharmacist jobs, community pharmacist jobs. So in the also you can do the drug inspector job in the government sector also. So as a pharmacist, one can work as a pharmacist in different departments of the governments like railway department, navy, army, and state and central governments, different banks, and you can do the drug inspector job, which is very allied job options after the pharmacy graduating, and they generally involved in the controlling licensing authority. So to enter into a such job, to there is a need to clear a one exam and with different respective departments. So next is a business. You can do the business after graduating B pharmacy. So retailing and wholesale of the pharmaceutical products you can do. and explore your career in this area. So as a business involving, so this business is involving in managing and operating pharmacies, drug distribution companies, or pharmaceutical sectors. So it focuses on the commercial aspects of the pharmaceutical industry to ensure medications reach safety and efficacy. You can academy is also another option. In the academia, you can do the after graduating B pharmacy, you can do a lecturer job in the D pharmacy colleges. So the role of lecturer is to educate future pharmacists and research to advance pharmaceutical knowledge and practices. So playing a teaching and research role in the universities, colleges, in the academia. Consultancy area. So they offer expertise, number of expertise, and the pharmaceutical companies, healthcare organizations, a number of the healthcare organization, government agencies, to you can provide a consultancy offers and provide a guidance on the drug development, regulatory compliance, and the healthcare strategies. So clinical research, in the clinical research there is another option is a clinical research, which is very good option. So you can do conducting a trial to evaluate in this. You have to, as a pharmacist, you have to play a role in evaluating the safety, efficacy of the drug, and such work with the patient to gather data contributing to the development of the new medication. Entrepreneurship is another option. In this, you can do the pharmacy as a startup, care company, healthcare related adventures, and this is also very good options. You can do after the graduating in the pharmacy. There are a number of the further studies options. So master degree options, PhD option is there, or specialized certification course, 1 year, 6 month courses is also open for you, and advanced role in the pharmacy, pharmaceutical research, academia. After studying, you specialize in clinical practices. So and further studies, higher study will give you the in-depth expertise and leadership of the particular field. So that is all about the career option after the graduating in the field. So next, today we are going to discuss the pharmacopoeia. Pharmacopoeia, now after in the graduation in the pharmacy profession, the pharmacopoeia is very important to understand the pharmacopoeia. So what is a pharmacopoeia? Pharmacopoeia is derived from the two different words. One is a pharmacon and second is a pure. So the mean of the pharmacon, that is drug, and the mean of the pure, that is making of the drug. So what is a pharmacopoeia? That is related to the making of the drug. What is a drug and making of the drug? So definition is simply it is a legal and official book that is issued by the regulatory recognized authorities, usually appointed by the government, central governments of the each country. Every different countries they have their own pharmacopoeia. So it's a list of the pharmaceutical substances, formulae, along with their description and the standards, in the order to build the quality and maintain the uniformity. So pharmacopoeia are updated on time. They updated time to time on the basis of to introduce latest information, evidences as available early as possible. So next is what are the different content that is inside the your pharmacopoeia. So first is monographs. The first content is monograph. What is a monograph? The definition of monographs is that is detailed specification of individual drugs or pharmaceutical substances. Okay, it is related to that. And the monograph including also the monograph including information of the drugs, chemical composition, physical properties, manufacturing methods, quality control test, and the doses. All these kind of the things: doses, quality control, manufacturing properties, physical, chemical compositions, are the all other things are included in the monograph section. Next is your journal chapter is also next content. So it is a wide range of the topic. So cover wide, it's generally cover wide range of the topics, and that is related to the pharmaceutical substances, including the doses form like tablet, capsule, injections, lotions, pharmaceutical excipients, quality control procedures, stability, testing, microbial limits, all the things, inactive ingredients for pharmaceutical excipient, that is the inactive ingredient. So all the kind of the things that is included wide range cover by in the wide range in the journal chapter. In the reference standard, so pharmacopoeia provides reference substance that serve as a benchmark for testing the quality of drugs and also the pharmaceutics. So that is the reference substance to check quality, and these standards are used to calibrate instruments and verify the test results. Control procedures is also mentioned in this pharmacopoeia. So the role of the control procedure is for the testing, identifying the purity, potency, safety of the drug. So all these at the end, these things in the control procedure include analytical techniques, specification of the different equipments, criteria for acceptable results, and dosage form. Next content comes the dosage form, information on the formulation, labeling, storage requirements for the different pharmaceutical dosage forms such as tablet, capsules, creams, and injections. Next term is a compendia. Compendia is a context that is related to the pharmacopoeia or the book that contains standard for the drugs and other related substances. So these are the two types, official and non-official compendia. So official like Indian Pharmacopoeia, British Pharmacopoeia, and non-official like Mark Index and Extra Pharmacopoeia. These are some example of pharmacopoeia. So I already discussed the definition of compendia. So that is it's a contact book of pharmacopoeia and that contains standard of the drugs and other later substances. There are two types. I already discussed official and non-official. So in the official, there is example of Indian Pharmacopoeia, British Pharmacopoeia. In the non-official standards are non-official are Mark Index and Extra Pharmacopoeia. So let's discuss the history of the pharmacopoeia. It's very important to understand history of the pharmacopoeia. So what is in the history? Each country has legalization of pharmaceutical preparation, which is a set of standards and required quality indicates for the medicaments, raw material, and preparation employed in the manufacturing of the drug. So, history of the pharmacopoeia is related to the separate present. These regulations are present in a separate articles, journals, and specific matter relating to the individual drugs are published in the form of a book called that is a pharmacopoeia. On the 15th December 82, the first United States pharmacopoeia was released. After that, 1864, first British pharmacopoeia was released. In India, the first pharmacopoeia was released on 1955 officially. So before the independence, the British pharmacopoeia was used in the India. Colonial amendment, the colonial amendment of the British pharmacopoeia that is 1898 was published in 1900 and appeared as a government of India edition in the 1901. So 1964 in the 19 after that 1964 government of India issue a list of known that Indian pharmacopoeia list that is the first issue. So committee after that there was a committee was under the chairmanship of Colonel R.N. Chopra along with their 9 other members prepared the Indian pharmacopoeia list. It was prepared and this list is prepared by the Department of Health India, Government of India in 1964. After the 1946, the Government of India appointed as a Indian Pharmacopoeia Committee for preparing a Pharmacopoeia of India. The tenure of this committee was 5 years. They done their tenure for the 5 years. So next is Indian Pharmacopoeia. What is Indian Pharmacopoeia? The history of the pharmacopoeia. Though Indian Pharmacopoeia was published by Indian Pharmacopoeia Commission (IPC) on the behalf of Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, Government of India. So the headquarter is Ghaziabad, Uttar Pradesh. So first Indian Pharmacopoeia was published in 1955 under the Indian Pharmacopoeia Committee under the chairmanship of Dr. B.N. Ghosh published first edition of IP, that is Indian Pharmacopoeia, in 1955. It is written in English and official titles of monographs are given in Latin. So it covers 986 monograph, and a supplement of this edition was published in 1960. So this is the table. So all the editions, all the things that is published, all the things that is published till date. So these are the things that is the first Indian Pharmacopoeia was published in 1955. Supplementation in the first edition of the Pharmacopoeia was done in 1960. Second edition of the Indian Pharmacopoeia was published in 1966. The supplementation was done on 1975. Third edition was Indian Pharmacopoeia, that is published in 1985, and the amendment was done on 1989, and the second amendment is done on 1991. There is also fourth edition of the Indian Pharmacopoeia. 1969 was published in the 1996. First amendment in the 2000. Second amendment in 2002 of the fourth edition of the Indian Pharmacopoeia. After that, fifth edition of the Indian Pharmacopoeia was published in 2007, and sixth edition of the Indian Pharmacopoeia was published in 2010. Seventh edition of the Indian Pharmacopoeia published in 2014. Okay, in the edition. After that, the British Pharmacopoeia. So it's a national pharmacopoeia of the UK, and first edition of this British Pharmacopoeia was published in 1864, and it's divided into two parts: the material medica and the preparation and compounds. So there is a two part. That second edition of the this British Pharmacopoeia was published in 1867. Fourth edition was published in 1898, and after that the fifth edition was published in 1914. Eighth edition of this British Pharmacopoeia was published in 1953. Is in this edition, the title of the drugs and the preparations were in English instead of Latin and matrix. Then ninth edition was published in 1958. 13th edition was published in 1980. 14th edition was published in 1988, and the 15th edition was published in 1993. So last edition was published in 1 January 2019 of the British Pharmacopoeia. Next is very important, that is United States Pharmacopoeia. So this is published by the first by the USA, United States, and this is and in the history of this United States Pharmacopoeia. So first edition was published in 1820, and it December and published in 15 December 1820, both Latin and English language. So United States Pharmacopoeia is addressing quality, ensuring enhancing regulatory practices, helping manufacture to distribute quality medicine, dietary supplements, and the foods. From 1820 to 1942, it was published at a 10-year intervals, after all the 10-year intervals. From 1942 to 2000, published at 5-year interval. From 2000, it was published annually. First national formulary of the United States appears in 1888. So next is the extra pharmacopoeia. So this is a title, that is extra pharmacopoeia for unofficial drugs and chemicals and pharmaceutical preparation, written by William Martindale. So the aim of this extra pharmacopoeia to cover drugs and related substance reported to be of a clinical interest anywhere in the world. So it provides useful information for the patients arriving from the abroad to identify their existing medications and these kind of the things. And it has some features like list of 6,000 drugs and medicines that is used throughout the world, and includes a list of 18,000 preparation. So these are the different images of the pharmacopoeias. There is one image of the British Pharmacopoeia 2019, USP United States Pharmacopoeia, National Formulary 41, USP United States Pharmacopoeia 46, published in 2023, and Indian Pharmacopoeia published in 2022. Various pharmacopoeias from their countries. This is the image of this. So these are the some reference that is I use for this content and for the information which I share with you. Thank you so much.